Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Punch Up Podcast. As always, we have new episodes every Monday. But this Friday, we have something special. A live episode of the Punch Up Podcast, presented by CSE Philadelphia. Friday, April 24th at 9 p.m. The Punch Up Podcast will come to you live, right to your home. For more information and tickets, you can check out comedysportsphiladelphia.com or CSZTix.com. That's CSCTIX.com.
Your story?
I called someone for verification. I went online to look few details up.
Oh,
Accuracy.
somebody's growing up.
Episode 103. I'm in.
I think you're getting the hang of this.
I like this punch hoop.
Might stick around.
It's getting like people are loving being able to see us. Like my mom.
Oh,
That's nice.
that is nice.
I
She
told
turns
my
the volume down and just watches it.
Yeah. Oh, isn't he
I-
cute?
I told my mom I told the story last week about my dad forgetting me, and she was just like, "Oh," I said, "Yeah, I mentioned you hate that story, Mom."
Yeah.
So you're off the hook.
Yeah, you're a good mom. It was just Dad that was bad.
It's got to be a bummer as a parent, I'm always like, oh, they're going to remember, that's the part they're going to remember of this day that we had, or,
Yeah.
when I've had enough at the end of the day, when I flipped out and then like everybody went back, went to their rooms and just like, you're always mad at us. We just spent $300 on you and you're all asking us for more sugar.
Hey, this is Steve with the Punch Up Podcast. With me on this episode are Jessie Preisendorfer,
Hey, Steve.
Kevin Regan,
Hey, Steve.
Mary Carpenter,
Hey, Steve.
and in the storyteller chair, Eoin O'Shea.
Hey, Steve, everybody,
Buddy.
welcome. Hello.
All yours, pal.
It's like we're at Ian's house.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks
Like
everybody for coming. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to clean up my basement.
Hey, looks like you put a fresh coat of paint up there, so that looks good.
It is nice, yeah.
Pictures hanging. It's nice.
Yeah, it's just painted right here. So my story takes place in the year 1998. It was game no, because they got swept. So it was the Padres Yankees World Series.
Oh.
Right.
And I was at the time working in LA with my cousin BC, and he was sort of the office manager, and we were in sales selling, just things to car dealerships. Just it was a crazy, just perfect young 20s sales job, like on the headset.
Supplier?
What's that?
Like a supplier, parts for the...
No, like exclusive dealer rights to be the exclusive dealer in your area, to be able to use a specific form of advertising, or and my uncle ran it, and it was always about having exclusivity and like being able to block your other, if you buy this, the other 4 dealerships within a 50-mile radius can't use this, and they are all competitive, and it's such a weird business because they just have to do whatever they can to get people to come into the dealerships, that there's just a million different programs of they just need to get people in. That's it, because
Need to draw them in the door, right?
you just need to get them in the door,
Were you selling them advertising, or were you selling them access to advertising?
Yeah, like a program that would then they would be able to advertise with. Like, one of the ones we did was when we were working with Motor Trend. So if you became the Dodge Durango was the Motor Trend SUV of the year, well, we would go to you and say, do you want to use the Motor Trend logos on your cars and say you're a Motor Trend, you're the Motor Trend vehicle of the year. If you buy this, then your competitors in the near other Durango dealerships can't use this.
That's how they determine it? You just had to buy it? I thought they had to win something. I thought there was like some rating system.
Oh,
Quality.
No, this is after they've been awarded the.
I gotcha.
After
Okay.
whatever, so then you go to them and say, you won this. Do you want to be able to display it in your windows and stuff? Not every dealership is going to be able to display it. I don't know how, and some guys are like, no, I don't care, but my uncle was, he was insane. It was like, he'd be yelling at you while you're talking. So, he's hearing you talking to a dealer. He's yelling at you what to say to this person, like insane stuff. Like, tell him to sign it and fax it back right now, or you're going to call his competitor. And the guy's like, so tell me a little bit about the deal. And you're like, sign it, fax it back. And he's like,
sign it.
Hang up on him and he'll call you back. I'm like, I can't. That's not human etiquette. Like I was not a very good salesperson, at least in that respect. Like I would make deals because like people liked me, like I would make deals, but there were other people that were like, just, it works, just threatening, just outright threatening folks to buy things.
And this guy, BC, he was a friend of yours?
It's my cousin.
It's
okay. My uncle's son.
Oh.
They worked together. They lived in a complex together. It was too much.
What was your uncle's name?
Bill.
Okay.
And that's all to say, just like on this random day at, let's say game time is 7:00, or actually this game was like an afternoon game in the World Series. And I believe the Yankees were up 2-0, or so they swept, and it's best of 7, right? So it's 4 games.
Yeah.
So this was game 3 in San Diego, and just at like 3:00 that afternoon, 2:00, 2:30, my cousin, somebody said, I can't make the game. I have tickets. Do you want to go? And we're in Los Angeles, and we'd literally just left the office and drove down to San Diego, with, first stopping at 7-Eleven to get giant, like 44-ounce Coca-Colas and a handle of whiskey, and are driving down the newly minted toll road, and going 100. Just bats out of hell.
How long a ride is it? An hour and a half
to San Diego? Like honestly, it's about a 2-hour drive. And that's a pretty good time. We made it in like an hour and 20, and we had VIP parking and really good seats. Like we got there, we just didn't. We figured it was from a dealer or some these car dealerships, they do get big stuff.
So is this a Barry Bonds year?
At where?
For San Diego.
No.
Oh, he was Giants. Never mind.
Giants.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. No, this is like, what I did look up is who I needed to, the turning point, but I didn't look up the Padres. Yeah. When of the it was McGuinn. Wasn't it? It was like his last, Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn, yeah. It was his end of his career.
Yeah. Tony Gwynn, I don't know a ton, but Tony Gwynn was like, like the Brett Favre of,
oh yeah,
right? He was just like, he never missed a game. He was a Golden Glove.
He played his whole career there, didn't he?
I think so, yeah. And I think this is kind of his swan song. They finally made it. And
he was 38. He was 38 at the time.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah,
So
I just looked it up.
he must have been. So we get there, and we're on between the left field and third base, about like 10 rows up in beautiful San Diego, right there. The field is right there. Like
Afternoon game, nice and sunny.
Afternoon game, beautiful San Diego weather. And we sit down, we finally get to our seats, and we sit down, and right in front of us is Yankees hat, like Yankees scarf, Yankees starter jacket, just
The whole kit.
The whole
The
kit.
Yankees startup kit.
And I could not have cared less. Like only that, the Yankees are, were the Patriots of the time at the time. They were just the hated empire. So
Still are.
True. And I just start laying into this guy, but peripherally, like, just because suddenly the Padres are doing well. The Padres are up. It's it's 2-0. It's 3-0. Yeah. Question?
How much whiskey and big gulp have you had so far that you just sort of indiscriminatly lay into this guy?
Good question.
I was not what was commonly referred to as like a good person. So I mean, we drank probably like half the handle. I do remember going down like 30 minutes into the thing, we realized we had to piss so bad we couldn't stop. So we had to drink our 44 ounces so that we could pee.
You need it, yeah.
Yeah, we needed something to pee.
Receptacle.
To drink, and every time you take big drinks and then you pour more whiskey and you're like, God damn it. And so really, like,
did the driver pee while he was driving?
Yeah, he's
wow.
He's one of the most special people you'll ever know.
Yeah, it's talent. This is BC.
This is BC. This is my cousin. Yeah.
So he's holding one hand on the wheel and the other hand on the cup.
Well, I might have been holding the wheel. I mean, we're family.
That's good. It's good to pitch in.
Ian, you got to hold something. I'll take the wheel.
Yeah. Wheel. I'll take the wheel. And so I do, like, we were drunk. I mean, by the kind of drunk, like, once we got to our seats, it was like, whoa, like, we had been rushing so much to get there that when we finally get there, it's like, oh. And then there's, like the equivalent of Mr. Peanut Yankee sitting in front of me. Like, he's just like, I'm like, are you kidding me, guy? Like, and the Patriots are, the Padres are doing well. And then I catch a glimpse of our Yankee fan.
So to that point, he hadn't turned around and done like a...
No, not like and we're talking like...
He's hunkered down. He's just taking it.
Like, he's just like, the Yankees are not doing well.
Yeah.
They're up 2 games. And
in the grand scheme, they're doing really well, but at this exact moment in time...
you can look this up, but 98 must have been like, they're going for their 75th title. Exactly. So...
but this was the game this guy got a ticket to.
Right. Well, yeah. He's in California. Once I caught a glimpse of it, he was probably at each of the games.
Ew.
Oh.
Sorry,
So
I don't like him anymore.
I catch a glimpse, and I'm like, oh man, oh God, I love your brother. I love his work so much. It was Nick Turturro.
Oh, wow.
Why you sent that's awesome.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
It was Nick Turturro, all decked out in his Yankees gear. And at the time, he was on NYPD Blue.
NYPD Blue, yeah.
Which was, it's what fed into all the other Wolf shows, I believe.
Yeah.
NYPD Blue led
Actually, that wasn't a Wolf show. That was a Bochco show, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Bochco. Yep.
Okay. Fair enough. But
Wolf copied Bochco, so Ian was right.
Totally.
May I continue?
Yes, please do.
No. Ian,
did we
have a question.
You, Ian?
What's that?
Did we interrupt you?
No. You're just punching it up. I get it. I know.
That
I always hate how this feels.
I know, right?
Ian,
this is hard.
You said
really
that
hard.
You just said that right to him. Like, as soon as you knew who it was, you hit him with that.
Well, at this point, I was all in. I was that guy. I was just like, I had the Yankee, the empire right in front of me. And, we had been going on. And maybe, to be fair, it was like the 3rd inning. And
what was Turturro? What was his big? What were some of his bigger roles at this point in '98?
Well, he was on NYPD Blue.
No, I know. I'm talking about his brother, John Turturro.
Oh, he had already done a couple of Coen brother movies. Yeah. I don't know if the big. when was the Lebowski?
I think that was '99. I think it was after, or may have been '98.
I don't think it was Big Lebowski, but
Also, he was in Quiz Show, right?
That was
Quiz Show. He was in a bunch of stuff. I don't know, but what was the one with John Goodman, the Flaming Walls, and the Barton Fink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think quiz show. I think, and I could be wrong. I think that was 2000, wasn't it? Was it in the 90s? I don't know.
Looking it up.
I mean,
He's done Spike
but
Lee.
Do the Right Thing. He was, I mean,
Yeah, Do the Right Thing. Yep.
I mean, he was in a couple of Spike Lee joints for
Miller's
sure.
Crossing.
Oh, that's right. I think it was the first one he did.
Crossing, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, he was in a ton of stuff, and
Quiz show. Yeah, Quiz show was 94. Yeah, he'd been all
Oh,
over.
wow. Holy crap. Whoa.
yeah. So I mean, his brother.
Sick burn. It's a sick burn that you laid on this guy without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, after all of this, just like
Yeah.
I mean, and then I'm just ripping NYPD Blue.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, I mean, I don't know what I thought would happen. But I guess I just, like you're in the baseball game and you're just like, and he's, of course, like, I got to keep my cool. Like he's a New Yorker. He's like, I get it. He knows he's in that place. He's wearing all this stuff. And I'm just like, I didn't tell you to wear all this stuff. I mean, you got a giant target on your back, buddy. Not to mention you're one of the greatest actors' little brothers.
Well, can I ask a question too, Ian? Do you have any affiliation whatsoever to the Padres? Like you're not really a Padres fan.
No, only that I have a father. No, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Padres, of course.
Padres.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm with you. All right. Yeah. So you're really just being a dick. It's
Just being a dick.
Is this unusual for you at that age?
Well, I mean, like, there's something about a baseball game that was always fun, and I always remembered like loving to heckle and come up with big chants and stuff like that. Like baseball games, I'm not the only one. I wasn't the only one laying into Nick.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Turo.
When you dress like that and you go to the home team's field and you're a Yankees fan, you're asking for somebody to say something.
Yeah.
It's a status
Now-
symbol. It's like, look at me, look who I root for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, I mean, and he's a quintessential New Yorker on NYPD Blue. Like, you would never mistake him for being from anywhere other than Queens.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like, but like, I mean, it almost got like, I mean, to the point where I was like, it was impressive. Like, I mean, he had like a girlfriend or a woman was with him who was just like keeping it, like, was just like, it's okay. And I just, I can't like remember specifics. I just know that it just didn't stop.
And you're feeding off this, like you see the body language of her, like he's probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There was a lot of just like, I mean, from behind, it's like, I mean, there were just like knives going into his, like, yeah.
What about the people around you? Were they cheering for you or shushing you or?
No one's shushing me. And, I mean, the Padres are winning. The Padres are winning convincingly. It was 3-0. Then it was 4-0. Then it was 4-2. And it was 4-2 into the 8th inning. And we're sitting on the third baseline, which at the time was Scott Brocious was the third baseman for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Who, I don't know a ton of folks, but he was one of their, I guess most of their infield was pretty well known all the time. But
he was a gutty player.
Yeah, but he had made a couple of errors. I was definitely chiming in on Brocious, and other people. Like you get at games like this, and if you're the guy who says something, you do get a lot of affirmation. From other fans. They're like, "Yeah, good one." Like when you come up with a real humdinger, or
you're on their side,
or just like people are chanting like, "Ah, you stink, you stink." And you're like. I mean, I can't even but you're just like, you're most likely an alcoholic who's never had a meaningful relationship in his life. And people are like, oh, nice. I always prided myself on like really just going for it and like getting like frighteningly personal, but just taking total stabs in the dark, just like that. And like, so then in the 8th inning, bases are loaded.
I'm looking at the box score right now.
You're cheating, Kevin.
I am.
So the bases are loaded, and Brocious comes up to bat and hits either, I want to say a grand slam, but it was either a grand slam or a 3-run home run. Like
it was
on
3 runs. Yeah.
3-run home run or 3-run homer on a rope. And it was 4-2. And this thing just like, it left his bat. And I was just like, ew.
So does Couture watch the ball by going like this and then turn around?
Yeah, he keeps going.
Yeah, no, he didn't even make it that far. He just went like this. He like you heard it and like just the sweep, the follow through, and he might have even done like a bat flip, and like so the ball hasn't even left the infield, and Turturro turns around. And he's like, "Shut the fuck up! You motherfucker! They're driving at me!" And this is when I like shine. I just was like aghast. I wasn't even aghast. I was just like, my, Nicholas. Like, wow, you've really been holding on to that for quite some time, huh, bud? Well, good for you. Good for you being a Yankees fan. Like, he was just like irate, and he couldn't believe I wasn't coming back. And I was like, I don't even like the Padres, man.
You rip open your shirt and it says Mets, and he's like,
I got tickets to this game an hour and a half ago, buddy. I can't afford these seats. They were given to me. I was sent here to be an earworm for you. I was sent to test you to the limits, and ye have passed. And so I was just like completely cool and just like, whoa, buddy, easy. Like he really, now that the Yankees had gone up, he really, really wanted to fight me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I, like then I was just like, dude, come on, you're wearing all the gear. Like I'll
in San Diego.
Like you want me to be honest, Nick? I wish I had your life. Is that what you want to hear, Nick? Like you
start crying.
You're on a hit series, and you're just you're a heck of an actor. I can't imagine the lessons your brother's given you. And I just think the world of most of your family.
Is he engaged with you at this point? Like he's still turned around and
he was frothing at the bit. I mean, he was like he couldn't have cared less about the game at this point. He was just like, shut the fuck up, sit down, don't say another fucking word. You've been on me the whole fucking game with this and that and this and that. You're talking about my TV show. I'm a human being. And like, it just like, I mean, granted, I was relentless and like, but I was just like, it was so beautiful from my end. I was just like, whoo. Because, I mean, I knew I was never under any threat. Like, we're not going to fight. He's not, like, yeah. I also was like, hey, buddy, that's terrific. It looks like you guys have turned this one around.
Oh, God.
So, looking at the box score, Ian, the Padres, so that put the Yankees up 5-3, and the Padres scored another run in the bottom of the eighth. Did that reignite your, like,
I think at that point, like now that you mention it, like I think I might have been like, like at that point I didn't have to do any. Like at that point I could just raise my eyebrow and he heard it. So he was facing the field, and I was like, hear those footsteps, Nicky?
Oh man,
here come those footsteps, Nicky. Yeah. But yeah, just I mean, I was just horrible to him. And I was telling my cousins, like, I guarantee you that he remembers that night vividly.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly the outcome of them winning and sweeping, but, I mean, this asshole that just was sitting behind him and just didn't stop.
So the Yankees won. What did they win, Kev?
5-4.
They won 5-4.
Yeah. 5-4. And was there any like stand up at the end, like shake hands or? No.
I mean, he was like, but I was like, bygones. He was just like, if that was his girlfriend, I'm sure they didn't make it past that night. Like I think like he was just like, I don't want to be associated with anyone that was at that game. Like ever again. I did try, like, insincerely. I was like, come on, Nick. Maybe I could get a walk-on part or like a featured.
Yeah.
Did you give me a reel? You gave me your headshot.
Yeah. Like this is not the best time, but I am an actor, and I've just been playing the role of your arch nemesis. So
just one big audition.
yeah.
And if you walked onto
That would
a
have been great if I was like, how'd I do?
if you walked onto a set now and he was there, would you? And you were talking, it's two guys. Would you bring it up or no?
I would absolutely bring it up. I mean, it would be.
Yeah.
You'd have to.
Yeah, I'd have to, and I wouldn't.
Right before action said, "Hey, do you remember that?"
Yeah, right. No, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like looking at me sideways before I did come up.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Don't even fucking come near me, kid." And I'd be like, "Nicky,
how's your brother?"
you won the whole thing, buddy. You swept us. That was great. And by us, I mean nobody. But more importantly, how's your brother? That's right.
I love that you had good seats, dude. I've only been to one World Series game, and we had awful seats. It was
1998. We were sitting behind Nick Pitero, who probably got the tickets given to him, but like they were like executive seats.
Yeah.
For World Series game, it was crazy how good our seats were. We were like, I had no business being there in the first place, so I was just like, oh boy, this is great. And before I knew who it was, I was just like, oh, look at this New York a-hole.
They were probably David Caruso's seats. Oh. And Caruso's like, I'm going to do something else. And they gave him to Jimmy Smits, and he's like, I don't care. Yeah. So then they were like, Nick, you want these?
Baseball. More like boring ball.